Hello friends, welcome to another session of video tutorial on API testing using Ready API. This is part 10 of this series. In this part, we are going to take a look at a Groovy Script step. Please subscribe, like, comment, share the videos on this channel. If you have any training inquiries, please contact me at techtrainerraj@gmail.com. So let us start looking at Groovy Script now. Okay, let's open up a Ready API. Here I'm going to create a new project, new functional test. For this demo, I'm going to use the web service which I have created using .NET. The same web service I have used in the other video also. Please watch all the other videos before continuing with this one. Okay, so this is the web service. There are different operations available with this web service. I have used add, hello world, print string and get time in the earlier videos. So the same I'm going to use in this video also. Click on this service description link and copy the URL. Okay, under API definition, click on start. Provide the URL, click on next. Okay, it's going to create a new project for me. Delete all the assertions for this. Okay, so I'm going to have multiple test cases selected. Finish. Okay, close the confirmation window. There are many test cases added here, so I'm going to delete those which are not needed now. So this one I don't need, so I'm going to delete this. Okay, so after deleting, I have only add request, get time request, and print string request test case. For the first test case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, instead of adding the numbers here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create custom properties like num1, and I'm going to have values here. Please go back and watch the videos on how to create these properties. Okay, so I have created two custom properties here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract them and add those values here using Groovy Script. Okay, to do that, right click on the test case, add step, and select Groovy Script. Okay, so I'm going to leave as it is. Okay, so here if you double click on Groovy Script, it says script is invoked with log, context and test runner variable. Let us see what these three are. This is the official definition of log, context and test runner. Log provides a scripting interface to the Ready API test log. Okay, so whatever you want to log into the test log, so you can use log object. Okay, context object provides a scripting interface to properties specific to the current test run context. That means context is an object which provides an interface to properties specific to that particular context. In this case, the context is test suite and test case. Okay, test runner is another object which provides a scripting interface to the test runner object that is executing the current test case and test step. It exposes methods related to test execution and underlying object model via test case property. Okay, so test runner is another object wherein you have access to everything starting from your project. Okay, context has got only for test suite, test case and test step, but if you want to use the project level object, then you have to use test runner object. So let us say I want to log something. Okay, log dot, so you'll get IntelliSense here. Okay, so some information I want to output. Okay, so here I'm going to print it as hello. Anything you want to print it to the log file, you have to use the log. Okay, so let me print the name of the test step here. Okay, using Groovy Script. So let me try that note, log.info, then context dot get current step will get you the current test step dot so I just want to get the name of that. Okay, so let me run this. As you can see, this is the current step which is called Groovy Script. Okay, so I can also print log.info context dot get test case. Okay, dot name. Okay, so now you can see that it has printed hello Groovy Script and add request test case. This is the test case it is printing, service soap add request test case. This Groovy Script syntax is quite similar to your Java syntax. Okay, I'm going to have other videos on Groovy scripting. For the time being, I'm going to look at only the log, context and test runner variables here. Okay, for Groovy scripting, you can refer to the other videos which I'm going to upload later on. Okay, so this is how you can get the current step and then the test case. Okay, let me fetch the test suite as well. So to fetch that, I'm going to do is I'm going to use context dot get test case dot get test suite. Okay, so I'm going to run this again. Okay, sorry, I have to put name here again. Okay, so this will put the suite name. By using the context variable, you can refer till your test suite level. Okay, now since I have created two custom properties at the test case level, so I'm going to print the values of these two custom properties through Groovy Script. To do that, what you need to do is I can define a variable using Deff command. Def n1 is equal to context dot, there is something called expand method. So inside this I have to give, okay, it starts out with single quotes. Within the single quotes, in bracket, flower bracket, open close, starts off with dollar and then hash test case. Since I have defined these two custom properties at the test case level, so I'm going to provide it as test case. And then what is the name of the variable? The name of the variable is num1. Okay, so here I have used expand method to fetch the value of our custom property variable called num1, which is at the test case level. Okay, so here I'm going to print log.info. Okay, so let us see. Okay, so here I'm going to run this and see. As you can see, it has printed 10, which is taken from this value here, custom properties value here. And the same way I'm going to print the number 2 as well. So for that, I'm going to define another variable called number 2. I'm going to assign whatever the value which is returned from expand method. So again, single quotes, okay, dollar, flower bracket open close, then hash test case hash num2. Okay, so log.info going to print the number 2 as well. Okay, so if I print this, so number 1 is 10 and number 2 is 20. So by using log, we can log information to your log output log. Okay, by using context, we can get the current step, test case, and we can also fetch the properties which are available at the test case level or at the suite level. Okay, so since we have seen at the test case level, so now let us take a look at suite level. I'm going to create another property here. I'm going to call it as yes num1. So here I'm going to add value as 30. I'm going to create another one, yes num2, and this value will be 40. Okay, so let us see how to fetch those values now. So I'm going to directly fetch those values and I'm going to put it under log. So here num1 at suite level is, okay, plus to concatenate context dot expand. Again, I'm going to use single quotes, start with dollar and then flower brackets, hash. Instead of test case, I'm going to take test suite. Okay, and what is the variable name? Yes num1. Okay, so let us print this first. Did I miss anything here? IAM bracket is missing. Okay, let us print this. So num1 at suite level is 30. The same way I can also take the fetch the value of num2. Okay, so again I'm going to concatenate num2 at suite level is context.expand, and this is yes num2. Okay, let me run this. And now you can see num1 at suite level is 30, num2 suite level is 40. So the next step what I'm going to do is for this test step I need to put these values, right? So through Groovy Script I'm going to fetch the value at the custom property level and then add it to the request. So this is the request, correct? Okay, inside this request I'm going to add the values, form this request first and then send it and get the response. So okay, the steps are fetch the values from custom properties at test case level, form the request with the fetched values, send the request from the response, fetch the result. Okay, so these are the 4 steps which I'm going to do now. So we have already fetched the values from custom properties at the test case level. Now I'm going to form the request with the values which we have fetched from step 1. Okay, so let us see how to do that with Groovy Script. Okay, to do that what we need to do is, since this is a request, I need to fetch the request first. So the request will be under the custom properties for this particular step, which is here. So this is the request, okay, so which is printed here. So I need to get this request and replace these two values with the fetched values. To do that, what I need to do is, first thing I need to get the XML, request XML. To get the request XML, I'm going to use again define request XML is equal to context.expand, again single quotes dollar. So this time I'm going to use the test step name, which is add a request, and then hash. The request is called with the name under custom properties as a request, capital R. So I'm going to have this here and this request here. Okay, print this value log.info and then request XML. Okay, so let me clear this and then let us see whether we are getting that. Okay, so we are getting that XML now, and inside the body I have this two number, F number as question mark and S number as question mark. So in this we have to add the value. To add the value, for this I'm going to use Groovy Utils. To use Groovy Utils I need to import a library which is which is under com.evi_where.soapui.support.groovyutils. Okay, after importing the Groovy utils, I'm going to create an object of this Groovy utils. Groovy utils is equal to, so new of Groovy utils. Groovy utils, and here I'm going to pass in the context variable. Okay, and then I'm going to use this object utils dot, so I'm going to use XML holder. So the XML holder will be passed with the request XML which we got from the request. XML node is equal to, so I'm going to define a variable and store it there. And after this, from XML node, since this add request, okay, so it is using this calculator namespace which is called cal, and the namespace is defined here, so we need to add this namespace also. Add the namespace, okay, for this XML node. Dot namespaces, okay, I'm going to specify a namespace as ns here. The name of the namespace is equal to, I'm going to copy this namespace from here, copy this namespace, and then add it in the Groovy script. Now XML node dot, okay, I'm going to set the node value now. Okay, to set the node value I need to get the XPath. So the XPath of this is, okay, so this is cal, which we called it as ns, and then f number. So the namespace is, okay, so it's going to be / ns colon and it's f number. Okay, so the value is n1. Okay, so this is the first number. The same way I'm going to provide the value to also. Set XML node dot set node value, again XPath as /ns colon, and the table name is s number. Okay, so s number, here it is going to be n2. Okay, so after setting these value, I need to know the XML again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print this XML node now. Log, so XML node dot get XML. So this I'm going to print it as log dot info. So after setting this value, I'm just getting the XML. Okay, so let me clear this out first and then run this again. Okay, so if I look at this XML and this XML, so this XML doesn't have any value in it. Okay, so there's no value here, and the second XML has got value in it. So we have formed the request XML now. Okay, so since we have formed this request XML now, so we need to replace this request with the one which we formed now. So this request is the one which will be sent out. To do that, I'm going to get this XML now, which is okay. Now I'm going to store it in some variable. So request okay, so filled request is equal to XML node dot get XML. So instead of printing, I'm storing it into another variable here. Okay, now I'm going to use test runner. So test runner dot test case dot get test step by name. Okay, so here I'm going to pass the name of the test step, which is add request. Okay, and then set the property value. Okay, so the property value is request. Okay, and which is the request which we are going to replace it with? This is fill request. Okay, so let me run this and see what it will do. Okay, so I ran this. Okay, let me clear this again and then run it again. Now our XML request has got values stored in it. So let us go back and check whether our XML is correct or not. Okay, so now it has put in 10 and 20 here. So the earlier XML has been replaced with this 10 and 20. So this is the correct XML now. Now we can click on send. Okay, so now we got the response, which is 30 with the result as 30. So we need to fetch. So by using Groovy Script, how do we fetch it? So again, I'm going to use XML Node. Okay, so from here I'm going to copy this again. Okay, so here I'm going to get response XML. So this is add request again, and this time I'm not going to look at request, I'm going to look at a response. Add request a response. So I'm going to print the response XML now. Okay, I'm going to create again the Groovy utils object. Okay, or else I can use the existing one. So I'm going to get a result node. So here I'm going to have result XML. I've created an XML holder here in terms of result node. From result node, I have to specify the namespace now. So the namespace for the result or response will be, let us take a look. So here it is using this XML namespace, which is okay, which is same as the other one. In my case, which is this. Okay, so I'm going to fetch the value from this node now. So this is not XML node, this is result node. Okay, from here I'm going to get result node dot get node value. Okay, so what is the node value? The node value I need to fetch is this add result, which is under this namespace. So it is going to be ns. So XPath will be again slash 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 ns colon the name of the tag is add result. Okay, add result. Okay, so this I'm going to store it in another variable result. Okay, so I'm going to print this now, log.info result. Okay, so let me run this. Let me clear this first. Okay, as you can see, I got the result as 30. Okay, so this is the test case which I have done using Groovy Script. First thing is fetch the values from custom properties at the test case level. So how did I do that? So I have used context.expand to fetch the values at the test case level. So here I have specified test case. So from this test case I have fetched this number 1 and number 2. Okay, so that is first step. Okay, form the request with fetched values. After this I am forming a request. So this is how we form the request. Okay, from here to here, so I have declared a variable called request XML. So I got the XML first, the request XML from this test step. Okay, so from this test step I got the request. Okay, and I used Groovy Utils class. From Groovy Utils class I have created an XML holder called XML Node. Okay, for that I have provided the namespace also, and by using this XML holder I am setting the node value for first number and second number, which we extracted earlier using context.expand. Okay, now till this point we formed the XML. Now we have to replace the existing XML with the one which we formed. I am doing that using this test runner variable through test runner test case, and I'm getting the test step by name, and I'm setting the property value to this whatever we have created, which is field request value. Okay, so now we have set that, and after that I ran the test. From the result I need to extract the value. So these are the steps which we followed to extract the node value from the response. Earlier this was request, and now we formed a response XML holder for a response, and then we fetched the node value using get node value method. Okay, so this is how we can use Groovy Script inside our test case. Okay, so this is how we can make use of Groovy Script as a step inside the test case. Okay, that is the end of today's session. Thanks for watching. Please stand by for more videos on this channel.